Okay, so this is obviously shot from the S21, but I normally record like as in the screen, but I'm using these cameras at the moment, and the S21 Plus actually has 3 lenses and not 2, just like the A05. And if you're wondering, that is what the date is right now, and it's a video of me just swinging, because I realised that I could do that yesterday. But anyway, this is the project so far, and you can see all the motors and stuff like that has actually been taken out of the case, but you can see they still move and they still lock themselves up like that, and then you can do that, lock, unlock, lock, unlock. But I want to now focus on in today's video, I want to go ahead and focus on the hinging mechanism. Yeah, the hinging mechanism. How on earth are we going to make this door hinge? Now, you can take inspired from an actual old project, Wabang. I don't know where to record with the 3 lenses, so I don't really know where the cameras line up. But this door is from Wabang. It's from this video right here. From the, would you believe it, the Working Wii Pro console, with the Lego Wii Pro console, or whatever the hell it was called. And basically this was the door where you take it unfold it and put your Disney Infinity characters in it. But can you see what I see? This is obviously a hinging mechanism. This goes up and down. Invert it, we've got an actual door. So all we need to do basically go ahead and do is, I'm going to take this apart and find out what is actually causing the hinging mechanism to actually work. But nevertheless, you don't really need to take it apart to actually figure out what on earth the hinging mechanism is, because it uses these little tiny pieces here and this Technic beam here, and then it uses the same Technic beam there, Technic beam right there, and then it literally forms, as I say, in 3 separate pieces. You got the main door piece, then you got the left piece, and then you got the right piece. I think that's the right way around, I don't know. But anyway, no, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and disassemble all 3 of these pieces, so then we can actually go ahead and start to make this door swing open on itself. But then you're obviously you're thinking, hang on a minute, how are you going to make this swing open? That means that, well, funny story, we're actually going to go ahead in today's video. Obviously, like I said, we're going to try my best and make this door swing, whilst at the exact same time keeping the door locking mechanism still keeping these door locking mechanisms involved, and this basically just needs to be hinged just like that. But then that means we also need to build out the frame a little bit. So then that means we can use this Lego, and even this Lego to actually go ahead and construct the old frame. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start to disassemble all the slots, and then we can rebuild it into this Lego safe project. So yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so now we have all this lovely Lego, and obviously we have the main hinging mechanism pieces that were the actual main thing that actually made the whole project hinge. Starting to figure out how to hinge this bad boy now. So let's try and figure out how to do it. Because nevertheless, you can't really put it, if you put it like that, then that means that it will be swinging like that, and we don't want that. No. So if we put it like this, then that means we've got our motion. Now, we possibly only need to include one upside down just like that, so I think I'm going to have to work around it somehow. Okay, so that was easy. I've never built something like that, but it's quite cool actually. So, and I think, so you can see there's 2 bricks separated from one another. You can see that that is on the positive side, and then that goes into there, but and then all of a sudden you have this snot brick thing, which is obviously double-sided, and then that converts the two things that stick out into the snot brick, and then that means that those two can stick out there, and then that means that these obviously stick out, but then that means that these don't, meaning that you can actually go ahead and simply just place that on there, and then there you go, it works. Now you can see that it's a little bit leaning towards this side of it, and I don't think that's a good idea, so and then what happens is I'm just going to invert it, and then there you go, it can go like that. Now obviously we just got to work out how on earth we do it like that, because oh yeah, I kind of only just realised it's not really necessarily going to work now. But at least now we know that this is equal to 4 studs, which means technically speaking we can convert it. So this 4 studs is 8 studs, so then that means we can do that one, but and then that means that we have to try our best to try and mount that onto some kind of bracket like this. Just so then it's all nicely in the works, so then that means that we can tilt the door like that. This is going to be very, very fun. I can tell it's going to be fun anyway. Okay, as you can see, it kind of looks a little bit more different, but nevertheless I managed to get it working. Now as you can see, the main thing is that you can mainly definitely see is the fact that there is a couple of 2 studs sticking out here. Well yeah, it's because we've managed to get this hinging mechanism. If I get rid of that, you can actually see that we've managed to get that hinging mechanism across 6 entire studs. Yeah, 6 entire studs. And not meaning 4 studs wide, but 6 studs wide out of place. And then that means that all the studs that are along here is facing this direction and not this direction. They're not facing upwards, no, they're facing outwards. And then we've got this little tiny sticking out piece right here, which and then goes onto one of these pieces. That and it, which and then that means that sticks onto there, but and then you can see this is also like the wrong direction type piece, and then we're going to get one of these pieces, and then we're going to stick that piece in there, and then just like that you can see it brings it back into normal brick size. So then that means we can go ahead and actually start to build up an actual, so then that means we can go ahead and start to build an actual legit Lego wall right here, knowing that it is now connected onto the door. Okay, so I'm finding this very, why? I place that on top of there, I place that on top of there. Why? Right, work. Unless
this is where I wanna be. On up with you, supersonic, we're on fire, rockin' love alive. On up with you. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling? Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling? Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling?
Okay, so I think now for the next task, obviously, like I kind of said when I was recording on this camera, but now I'm on my other one. Well, this is the Samsung Galaxy S21. I only put that fingerprint recognition on there today. Yeah, I've only put that on today, and the amount of times that I've used it just to actually go ahead and unlock the phone. It's just so much easier. So, yeah. Anyway, I was recording on there, and then I've tried to record on this little tiny 8GB memory card, but it didn't really work out. And to think that that's been charging inside the background as well is crazy. Why does this only have 1X and 2X? But anyway, I don't know. Oh wait, no, it does have 10. Anyway, no, the next task obviously we need to go ahead and sort out these locking mechanisms, so making sure that they can open and close, but obviously you can see that requires me to end up sticking out the frame ever so slightly onto here, which obviously that means when opening the door I've got to make sure that it still can open, and obviously it opens that wide, but still, nevertheless, at least then it still opens, you know. But and then I noticed obviously I've had to build the wall. The scaffolding wall is stops here, so then that means that there's 3 blocks to play with to actually make sure that this door does not open when the door is locked. Nevertheless, this side does not have to be as thick as this side, because this side is actually going to house the remote. Like I said in the last video, it's going to house the remote on this side, so then you can actually go ahead and unlock it, just like that, and lock it. Well, just unlock it just like that, and lock it back in just like that. The remote for that will be on the side just here. That's why there's nothing been built here, and just scaffolding, and that's why I've stopped it there. But in any case, now on this side we can actually build this all the way down, because, well, yeah, there's nothing here apart from the locking mechanism of us needs to be the locking mechanism. Ideally, these two need to go here, so that means that this will actually be pushed out right out towards here, and then obviously on this side the wall will end up stopping up to here, because and then once you end up realizing that the fact when you swing open the door, this is how much it can go up to, and obviously I've marked it down here, so then that means yes, you can build the wall up to here, up until this point right here, but anything beyond this point you can't build up until this point. But and then it's like, well, yeah, what's the point in that, considering that on this side there's only one, but then like there's only one stud missing on this side, but on this side you have 2, but oh well. But anyway, no, that's just a recap type thing on how it's all going. I mean, I can show you what it looks like on the back, but nevertheless, that's what it just looks like on the back. That's what it looks like on the back anyway. But anyway, no, that is it for today's video. In the next video type thing of me building this Lego safe project, which this Lego safe project is obviously turning into a series type thing because of how long it needs to be. Because there's going to be so many videos about this, it's going to be absolutely unreal, but it's going to be crazy once I get it done and finished and out the way. But anyway, no, I hope you enjoyed today's video and all about this Lego safe and the fact that we can actually open and close it inside the right configuration, and knowing how big and wide it needs to be is really, really nice, cool, good feature. And it, as well, it's really quite nice to end up using this phone to actually do the majority of the recording for this video. You can see the majority of the vote is on this phone, and this phone has 3 lenses on, whilst the one that I'm having to record on, which is my normal phone, but soon it will get updated to a newer phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy A05, but then I'm going to be upgrading it to the Samsung Galaxy A17. Obviously, this is the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus, but and then this, I record a lot on this and edit on this and use Samsung Dex on it, and it doesn't have an SD card slot. So yeah, and I need an SD card slot on a phone. Oh, I thought it did have shakeability. Oh well. But anyway, I don't know. Hope you enjoyed today's video and all about this project, and I'll see you in the next one and all. Bye bye.